when we're trying to take coordinate plane problems into real world problems, we usually think about when we're like measuring things, like measuring a classroom or measuring a playground or measuring a garden. In this situation, this is a rectangular living room. Side length of each grid square is 2 feet, so I know each block's 2. Use the diagram to answer the question. So the first thing they say is to give the coordinates of P, Q, R, and S. And this is no different than what we were doing earlier when we were just coming up with the coordinate pairs. The only difference is the blocks don't count as 1, now they count as 2. So when I look at P, I know that P is at 2, 2, and I know that Q now is at 28, 2, and I know that R is at 28, 18, and I know that S is at 2, 18. So I have all these points. Now I might use them to measure, or I might just count. They asked me to find the length and the width of the living room. So I'm going to say that this is our length and this is our width. And they want me to find it. Now I could just count it, count my way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, but there are 2 for every one, so I know that this is actually 26 feet as the length. And then I could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but then that's double. So I'll just say that that's 16 feet. Another way I could look at is to notice that the distance between 28 and 2 and 28 minus 2 ends up being 26. I could know that. I could also see that this is 18 and this 2, and I know 18 minus 2 is 16. I could do it that way as well. They want the area of the living room. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a calculator for this, for the area. I know that the area of a shape is its length times its width, so that's 26 times 16. And 26 times 16 is 416 square feet. If I want to find the perimeter, I'm basically just adding 2 lengths. 2 lengths, so 2 26s. And 2 widths, 16 and 16. And when I add all those up, we get 84 total feet. This last one's kind of an important one. You're going to see a lot of these when we do them. There's a lamp, and they're talking about the distance of this lamp. So they say that lamp is at point W, and then they say that it's 22 feet away from PS. So if this is PS, I know it's got to be 22 feet away. So if I count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, I know that it's got to be somewhere on here. I don't know exactly where, but I know it's somewhere on there. Then I'm going to look at the rest of what they tell me. They say that it's 2 feet away from PQ. Well, if this is PQ and I'm looking for 2 feet away, I know that it's just, these are all 2, so this is just 2. So it's got to be somewhere on here. So I'm looking at this point right here is the only place that fulfills both of those things. And it looks like the point W is at point 24, 4. Here's one that's similar. You can pause it here and try to do it, and then we'll go over it. Okay, so if we look at this, first they want the coordinates of A, B, C, and D. I'm just going to go through here and see that point A is at 10, 55. Point B is at 10, 5. Point C is at 40, 5. Point D is at 40, 55. So I've got those points. Then they ask for the length and the width, and if this is our length down here, each block is 5, and we've got 6 blocks. So the length ends up being 30 feet. And if I look at my width, I know that the width, each block is 5 blocks, and we're looking at 10 blocks, so it should be 50 total feet. If they ask for the area, I'm just going to take length times width, which is 30 times 50. We're looking at 1,500 square feet. If we look at our perimeter, I know that I've got two 30s, and I've got two 50s, and that's 160 feet all the way around the shape for the perimeter. Then one of these tough ones at the end. They say they're putting a tree at point P. See, it's 10 feet from AB, so if this is AB, and it's going to be 10 feet away, it's got to be somewhere like on here. And they also say that it's 5 feet from AD, and if this is AD, 5 feet away would be somewhere here. It gives us this point right here, and that point is point W, or excuse me, point E, which is at 20, 50.